Hello. Today, our group will talk about physiological ecology, overheating mechanism in flora and fauna. Our group members is Amria Shamina, Hani Huaina, Mau Pecheng, Nur Ain, Muhammad Hakim, Nurin Fikra, and Shalini. The show contains of two topics. The first one is overheating mechanism of flora, and the second one overheating mechanism of fauna. Our chosen flora is Syzygium martifolium warp. Overheating mechanism in flora can be divided into three mechanisms, which is evaporation, leaf rolling, and dry leaf edges.
Now I will explain the mechanism of evaporation. When the weather is hot, the water is drawn out by plant roots from soil and delivered to stems and leaves. Some of the water which is drawn up from roots will exit from the stomata pores, which are the tiny openings or pores in plant tissue that allow for gas exchange. And when the water evaporates, heat is then removed from the plant to the air, hence producing a cooling effect. The cooling effect can decrease the internal temperature as heat is lost to the surrounding.
Okay, now I'll explain the curling up mechanism. They roll their leaves in response of heat. This will minimize the surface area that is exposed to the sun. Hence, the stomata will close. This will reduce the moisture loss in the plant, and when the temperature drops, the leaves will get back to normal. Thank you.
Mechanism in dry leaf age. Outer margin of a leaf will dry up, but the leaf as a whole remain viable. The past is epicuticular wax, who roll as a wax covering the outer surface of a plant cuticle. It functions as a UV light reflector, decrease surface wetting and moisture loss. So, mechanism in overheating is the increasing for quantity of epicuticular wax on Schizium martifolium leaves.
The fauna organism that we choose is dog. There are four different mechanisms of overheating in dogs, which is radiation, evaporation, convection, and conduction. Dogs, they can classify as endotherm. They can generate their own internal heat. They also warm-blooded. They have internal mechanism to keep their body in correct temperature all of the time. They have coat that can keep them cool in hot weather and warm in cool weather. This is the structure of dog paw. Under the dog paw, they have pad. The pad is used to regulate body temperature as they have sweat glands.
Next, we will explain more about dogs. As we mentioned before, it is endotherms that generate their own heat, and they are also warm-blooded animals. In hot temperature, to maintain their body temperature to avoid from dehydrating and also heat stroke. In this video, we can see two dogs in a hot weather. For plants, they will doing transpiration to lose excess heat, but for human, we will sweat and perspire, but dogs have less sweat gland that will panting. And from this video, we can see the dogs are panting, which can be classified as evaporation. They will breathe in air through his nose that will pick up the moisture from tissue, which is wet nose. Then the moisture capture the heat and will exhale through mouth. The excess heat will lose and keep the body of dogs in normal temperature. The faster and more shallower the panting, the more heat will release from body.
Seconds, dogs also doing conduction. We can see from this video, the white dog lies on the cool ground covered with grass. The body will transfer the body heat to the cooler patch of the grass through the conduction. Then, the dogs also doing convection. They swing and move the tail rapidly to increase the transfer of heat by the movement of air or water next to the body. The different animals will use different method while doing convection. For example, elephant will flip their ears.
Evaporative mechanism. Water from the skin, mouth and nose of land animals is frequently lost to evaporation into the atmosphere. Evaporative may serve as a cooling technique by removing heat. For instance, many animals have the ability to improve evaporative cooling in response to high body temperature by triggering systems like sweating and panting. Although sweating may play a little part in controlling body temperature, dogs have indeed sweat glands that are found in their ear canals and the pads of their paws. The panting mechanism helps the dog release extra heat from his body. With its mouth open, an animal pants to maximize the amount of moisture evaporating from the surfaces of the mouth. Mammals and birds both sweat or at least utilize comparable respiratory technique to stay cool.
That's all from us. Thank you.